Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of Stir in the Pot, where we're going to stir it up this week. All right, guys, here we go. I got the new starter jacket on, baby, with the AFC patch and the Chiefs patch. Got it going. Got the Super Bowl champions hat on. All right, guys, here we go. Thursday night football. We got the Jaguars and the Saints. The Jags are 4-2. The Saints are 3-3. The Saints are favored by 1 in this game. We don't know if Trevor Lawrence is going to play for the Jags. The Saints got the number 5 pass defense, only giving up 182 yards. And Carr is going up against the number 31 pass defense of the Jags. The Jags giving up 270 yards a game. I'm looking for the Saints to win this one, ladies and gentlemen. All right, next game we got Falcons and Buccaneers. The Falcons are 3-3. The Bucks are 3-2. I'm calling an upset alert on this one. They got the Bucks favored by 2.5 in this one. I know last week the Bucks lost to Detroit. I think the Bucks are a pretty good team. The only reason I'm taking Ridder, even though they lost to Washington last week, I'm taking Ridder and the Falcons going up against the number 26 pass defense of the Buccaneers. So I'm actually looking for Ridder to go over on his yards at 212.5. And Mayfield's over under on his yards is 229.5, but he's going up against the number 4 pass defense of the Falcons. They're only giving up 179 through the air. So I'm taking the under on Mayfield, the over on Ridder, and I'm looking for the upset Falcons to beat the Bucks on that one. All right, next game we got Lions and Ravens. I like this game. It's probably one of my favorite games of the week. I think this is going to be a tight one. The Lions are a good team. Last week, the Lions won at Tampa Bay. And last week the Ravens beat Tennessee. I'm taking the Lions to win this one because Jared Goff, I think, is the real deal this year. I think the Lions are finally turning the corner and they look legit. I will say the Ravens have the number 2 pass D, only giving up 163 through the air. So we'll look to see if the Ravens can hold off Jared Goff and the high-powered Lions offense. Hell yeah. All right, next game we got the Commanders and the Giants. The Commanders are 3-3. The Giants are 1-5. The Commanders are favored by 2.5 in this one. I'm taking the Commanders to win this game. Last week the Commanders beat Atlanta. Last week the Giants lost to Buffalo, even though they stayed in it. The problem with the Giants is they don't know what they're doing at quarterback right now. Daniel Jones has a neck, so Tyrod Taylor has been playing. So we'll see if they can continue to do all right, or if they can continue to try and figure out their quarterback situation. They're not doing all right. I take that bet. They're 1-5, and I'm picking them to lose this week. All right, next game we got the Bills and the Pats. The Bills are 4-2. The Pats are 1-5. The Bills are favored by 9 in this one. Last week the Bills beat the Giants. Last week the Pats lost to the Raiders. Allen is going up against the number 12 pass defense of the Patriots at 202 yards that the Patriots are giving up. I'm looking for Allen to do pretty good in this game. I'm looking for Mac Jones to struggle for the Patriots. He's looking like he's imploding. We don't know what's going to happen to him. And the Bills have the number 7 pass D, only giving up 190 yards through the air. So I'm looking for Mac Jones to struggle. I'm taking the Bills. All right, next game we got the Raiders and the Bears. The Raiders are 3-3. The Bears are 1-5. Last week the Bears lost to Minnesota. The Bears got the number 29 pass defense, and their quarterback Justin Fields is hurt with the thumb injury in his throwing hand, so he's going to be out. They're starting a new quarterback by the name of Tyson Bagent. I don't know. The Bears are struggling. They're about to struggle even more. The Raiders are struggling as well. Even though they won last week, they beat New England, but they don't know about their quarterback situation, if they're going to have to start old Hoyer or not. All right, next game. Browns and Colts. The Browns are 3-2. The Colts are 3-3. The Browns are favored by 3 in this one. Last week, the Browns beat San Francisco in a thriller with PJ Walker. The Browns have the number 1 passing defense, only giving up 121 through the air. The Colts lost to Jacksonville last week. The Colts are using their backup quarterback of Gardner Minshew. So I'm looking for the Browns to win this one. All right, next game, Cardinals and Seahawks. All right, the Cardinals are 1-5. The Seahawks are 3-2. The Seahawks are favored by 7.5 in this one. Last week the Seahawks lost to Cincinnati, and last week the Cardinals lost to Carolina. So the Seahawks have the number 28 pass D, giving up 257 yards through the air, and the Cardinals have the number 22 pass D. So Geno Smith throwing the ball for the Seahawks is over under at 253, and Dobbs for the Cardinals is over under at 219. I'm taking the over on both of them. I'm looking for a high scoring game for two struggling defenses, but I'm taking the Seahawks to win it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, next game we got the Steelers and the Rams. The Steelers are 3-2. The Rams are 3-3. The Rams are favored by 3 in this game. The Steelers are coming off the bye. Last week the Rams beat Arizona. Kenny Pickett going up against the number 13 defense of the Rams, giving up 208 yards through the air. Matt Stafford going up against the number 25 defense of the Steelers. The Steelers giving up 245 yards through the air. I'm looking for the Rams to win this one. I'm looking for Stafford to have a good game against that number 25 passing defense. All right, next game we got Packers and Broncos. The Packers are 2-3. The Broncos are 1-5. The Packers are favored by 1 in this game. The Packers are coming off a bye. Last week the Broncos lost to Kansas City. Jordan Love for the Packers over under at 231.5, going up against the number 30 pass defense of the Broncos. I'm taking the over on Love. The Broncos are giving up 268 through the air on average. So I'm taking Love to get us 231. Wilson, I'm taking the under on him. His number's 216.5, but he's going up against the number 9 pass defense of the Packers that are only letting up 194 through the air on average. All right, next game we got the Chargers and the Chiefs, baby. The Chargers are 2-3, and the Chiefs are 5-1. The Chiefs are favored by 5.5 on this one. Last week we beat Denver. The Chargers lost to Dallas last week. Herbert's over under at 266.5, going up against the number 6 pass D of the Chiefs. The Chiefs have a legitimate defense this year. Our secondary is stepping up their game. I'm proud to say we're only giving up 183 yards through the air on average. So I'm taking the under on Herbert. And Mahomes over under 277.5 seems like a high number, but the Chargers have the number 32 pass defense in the NFL, giving up 289 yards through the air. So I'm taking the over on Mahomes. All right, next game we got Sunday Night Football, Dolphins and Eagles. Both teams 5-1. The Eagles favored by 2.5 in this one. Last week the Dolphins beat Carolina. Last week the Eagles lost to the Jets. Tua going up against the number 20 pass defense of the Eagles. They give up 232 on average through the air. The Dolphins got the number 19 pass D. I'm picking the Dolphins to win this one in an upset. I'm looking for Tua to have a good day against that number 20 pass defense of the Eagles. All right, next game we got Monday Night Football, Niners and Vikings. The Niners are 5-1. The Vikings are 2-4. Niners are favored by 6.5 on this one. Last week the Niners lost to Cleveland. Last week the Vikings beat Chicago, so the Niners lost to the number 1 defense in the number 1 passing defense, and the Vikings beat a trash team. So Brock Purdy going up against the number 17 pass defense of the Vikings, and Cousins going up against the number 10 pass defense of the Niners. This is a simple pick for me. The Niners are 5-1, so I'm taking them to beat the Vikings. Thanks for tuning in this week, guys, to another episode of Stir in the Pot. Can't wait to see what happens this week. Go Chiefs!